G'day folks, welcome back, and today story time. So for today's story I have to take you back about 122 years, not much, to the Kruger National Park. On the 26th of August 1903, the first ranger in the park, Harry Wolhuter, is making his way along the Olifants River on a patrol. And it looks a little bit like this. It's got Harry in front on his horse, accompanied by a faithful dog Bull. Behind him is 6 native policemen on donkeys. And as they're doing this patrol, they get to the watering hole where they were planning to camp for the evening. And they realize they've got a problem. Because being August, it's the height of the dry season, and the watering hole is dry. So Harry makes a fatal mistake. And he says, guys, I know this area. I patrolled it during the Anglo-Boer War. Let's carry on. It's about 19 kilometers to the next watering hole. We set up camp there and we can get water. So everybody decides this is a great idea, and off they go. And as it starts getting into twilight, remember, vision is not that good at that time. Bull stops, growls. He looks very unsettled. Harry looks around and sees 2 figures moving through the grass. And he says to himself, well, we're close to the river. It's probably either waterbuck or reedbuck. Nothing to worry about. And he spurs on his horse to keep moving. And the next moment, these 2 figures burst out of the long grass. It's 2 male lions. The first one goes straight for the horse and digs its claws into the hindquarters of the horse, causing the horse to buck and Harry to eat some dust. And as he hits the ground, the next lion is on top of him, grabs him by the right shoulder, and is dragging him into the bush like an impala. Well, at this point in time, I'm pretty sure most of us would be too busy screaming like a little girl to do anything. But Harry, being the true bush legend that he was, starts feeling around his waist with his left hand and ends up finding his knife. Now, the knife is nothing special. I wouldn't even call it a proper hunting knife. About a 3-inch blade with a tambueti handle. He grabs it and he starts stabbing wildly at this lion. The lion drops him under a tree. He managed to stab the lion 3 times, one of which luckily went through in between the ribs, and the tip punched the lion's heart. The lion, quite stunned, stands back, and Harry starts screaming at it with all his might, eventually driving the lion off. But the screaming has got an unintended consequence. The second lion now comes charging towards Harry, giving up on the horse. And where his luck turns is that his dog Bull is not afraid of lions. He keeps on barking and yapping and snapping at the lion's heels, ending up worrying the lion so much that this lion pretty much gives up and runs away. Now, with Bull there, Harry gets up, climbs into the tree, not very high, and manages to secure himself with his belt. A couple of hours later, the native police officers, who have scattered, slowly come back and they find Harry hanging in a tree. he's still alive. They take him down, they set up camp for the night, and they look after him as good as they can. And they have to decide what they're going to do now. Skukuza's far, and there's no help. But there's a doctor in Komatipoort, but it's 4 days. So they make the decision, they put him on a stretcher, and they start moving towards Komatipoort. Now going down towards Komatipoort, the only thing they can think to keep this man alive is to stop infection from setting in. They literally rub salt into the wounds. And they keep on rubbing salt into these wounds to prevent it from getting infected. Harry does get a slight infection, but he makes it to the doctor. In Komatipoort, the doctor looks at him, treats him as best he can, but this man needs a hospital. It takes about another 6 days to get him on a train to Barberton, where he finally gets to a hospital. The amazing part is, 6 months later, this guy's back at work. Now, all the malaria and black fever episodes that he had in the Kruger Park, together with the side effects of this lion attack, eventually took his life. But not before he became a true legend of the Kruger National Park. So today, if you want to walk in the footsteps of Harry Wolhuter, you can go stay at Pretorius Camp, which was Harry's main base. And you can actually go and see the flamboyant trees, which are not indigenous to the Kruger National Park, at Pretorius Camp, was planted by Harry as part of his garden. And if you don't believe the story, you can head down to Skukuza. In the James Stevenson Hamilton Museum, you can still see the skin of the lion and the knife. And if you really want to, just drive down the S35 from Tuban. You'll find a little marker next to the road saying historical site. And you can still see the tree where Harry saved himself. So that's the story of a man, a knife, and a lion. Have a good day, folks.